There is such a creature in the world. They were discovered by a few people, but it has not been confirmed to exist. We refer to this group of creatures as unidentified mysterious animal. Unidentified organism referred to as UMA. Hello and welcome to the UMA video series. In the heart of Africa, the Congo River is like a winding dragon through the vast tropical rainforest. This is one of the few places on Earth, untamed wilderness, missing light and shadow in the thick canopy. It seems like a puzzle left by nature on purpose. Today's topic: from this ancient and mysterious land, a sensation in the middle of the last century. Add order plus giant snake. Katanga serpent, also known as the Congo serpent, Central African giant snake, Moma or Pumina. It was the middle of the last century. One was found in the Katanga region of Congo. Giant reptile. Here's the thing. Remy van Lilde. He was a Belgian ace fighter pilot. 1958. Van Lilde at Dunsfold Airport in the UK. Test flight of Hawk Hunter fighter. And became one of the Belgians who broke the sound barrier. 1 noon in August 1959. Colonel van Lilde just completed in Bishagan Kingdom mission in the Jadeno area. Returning to Kamina Air Force Base, encountered a giant serpentine. They were flying at an altitude of about 125 meters. Colonel Geisen, who was traveling with him, saw him first. At first he only realized that there was a huge tree trunk move around the termite mound and extends forward a few meters. When he passed the walkie-talkie, when notifying Colonel Van Leer, the plane has left that place. It's about 1,500 meters away. They turned back. Soon found the monster again. Pilot Colonel Van Lilde. In a later interview, he expressed that it was a big dark green snake. The abdomen is white. Estimated length is 50 feet. That's about 15 meters. The head must be 2 feet wide. It's 3 feet long. That's enough to swallow an adult. Only see him raises his horse-like triangle high head, staring straight at the plane. Colonel Van Leer has no doubts. If the plane comes into his range of attack, he will pounce in an instant. Van Lilde, try to adjust the altitude of the plane to the ground, 35 to 45 meters away. And it has flown over the sky of this big snake many times. For the crew engineer, Adjutant Ginter with a camera, record this shocking scene. And they were able to get this picture. Due to the issue of aircraft fuel levels, they don't have enough time. Take a second photo. Remy van Lilde. It is considered an ideal eyewitness. His military career record shows that. It has sufficient observation and credibility. So this photo, and it became the world of cryptozoology, one of the most famous photographic evidence, and the specific location of the sighting. Now, so we type in Google Earth, giant Congo, can quickly locate its approximate location. March 3, 2023. There's a guy on Reddit named Bart Donald. Happy Meal netizens. A post was posted. Claims to have found the detailed coordinates of the giant snake photo. According to him, he matched the path and the location of termite mounds, found this place, and in the form of reducing the transparency of the image with the original image, contrasted. Here's how it works. After comparison, I think this location, still very convincing. Time goes back again. From the end of 1959 to April 1960. Mysterious zoologist Bernard Schulmans. I received photos from the assistant one after another, and camera negatives, and will conduct its detailed investigation process, recorded at the end of his release in 1978, in the African Dragon Art. And I'll just summarize it here. In the photos sent, marked with the filming staff at that time, equipment used, shooting parameters, and information on the washing process. Professor Hugh Willman's current position, the first colonists at that time, George Bonville, also followed Van Leeuwen and Adjutant Ginter, fly over the destination again, and shot half a roll of 8mm color landscape film. For comparison, unfortunately, I didn't find it. This section compares the details of the information used. Professor Chermans believes that, including Dr. Bunnywell, and 4 witnesses, all experienced pilots. But the exact size of this snake, its evaluation after all. Science requires rigor. After all, anyone can make mistakes. To avoid interpretative bias, the task that Professor Hugh Willmans will identify, commissioned to Belgian zoologists. At the same time, Ray Catafas is also a photography expert. Or express, take the height of the termite mound as a reference. Obviously not suitable, because they are big and small. Very different. The most reasonable way, or measure the snake body in the image. Considering the altitude of the aircraft, a rough estimate of 40 meters, even between 45 and 50 meters, plus the camera angle of the shooting. You can estimate the length of this snake, about 12 to 14 meters, width between 43 and 47 centimeters. In short, thinking eyewitness estimates are very accurate. But the head width, it can only be roughly estimated at about 80 centimeters, because the snake is partially upright. The movement of the head blurs parts of the photo. In 1962, an American writer, Charles Hapgood, in a letter addressed to a U.S. Air Force colonel, Lorenzo Burro's letter states that mysterious zoologist Professor Ivan Sanderson, in that period, also got this original photo, and it has been enlarged and compared many times. The latter indicates that, from the photo, almost certainly, the upper right third is covered by extensive vegetation, tree cover, and the 2 black dots in the upper left corner, apparently a shadow formed by the termite mound. The photo was taken from a very high place. You can't have a 1-inch termite ball. This means the snake could have been over 200 feet tall. That's 61 meters. And the Camina region, there have been countless reports of giant lizards. We've even found skeletons of extinct organisms. If you can prove the authenticity of this photo, that would be quite a discovery. You can see it, Professor Ivan Sanderson's estimate. There are still significant differences from the eyewitness accounts. And the Gardan furniture snake, the reason for the attention, it's because of his size. It's beyond our comprehension. We know, even if it is currently known, the longest living snake in the world, reticulated python of Southeast Asia, its maximum recorded length is only about 10 meters. The most conservative estimate of body length for the Katanga serpent, it has reached 15 meters. This length has to be doubtful. Is there an ancient species of giant snakes still living in that deep rainforest? Like the African python. African python, it's a large, extinct python, is now known. Stepasuki snake, the 3rd largest snake after Hataitan ran, that lived about 40 million years ago. Historical period, mainly found in the Futis Sea in North Africa. This is Egypt today, and the Algerian region. Estimated body length is between 9 and 11 meters. So far, only a few fossils of this species have been found. Since they may have been descended from the ancestor elephant, wait for primitive elephants to feed. Therefore, it is also known as the elephant-swallowing snake. Another contestant cowbone snake. In Africa, there are also distributions, but these ancient giants, is it really possible to survive? Professor Bernard Wommans believes that Katanga serpent, it may not be a prehistoric or unknown species, but an unusually large Central African rock python. This is so far one of the most popular theories. The Central African rock python is now known, distributed in Africa, the largest python. It is one of the longest snakes in the world, widely distributed in sub-Saharan Africa, inhabit the grassland, semi-desert, inflamed swamp, and the rim of the river. with poultry and fish, large nilden, or the young of big cats. The average body length of an adult Central African python, usually between 3 to 4 meters. A few older individuals can reach 4.8 meters. Unconfirmed reports suggest that, in the Gambia, individuals over 7.5 meters in length have been found. This is 1991, Swiss biologist Claude Martin's West Africa. In rainforest art, even recorded, in Africa, near Bingwell in southern Côte d'Ivoire. I also found one, a giant Mustang with a length of 9.96 meters. In 1897, the British explorer Mary Kingsley's travels in West African art. There's a description. The preacher in Calabar assured me the fish fin boa was brought to Creek Town. His length filled the entire hallway of Creek Town Church. I have no doubt that must be over 40 feet. If these reports are true, then it may represent that in that area of human beings, unexplored rainforests, there are also individuals with larger body size metrics. I personally think the key to the Katanga serpent incident, or is it this photo? Professor Ivan Sanderson's estimate of 200 feet. Apparently the size of 2 termite mounds. Proportional estimate. But I couldn't get a sense of what he was saying in the text. Which 2 black spots are they? I prefer the eyewitness's original visual estimate. Although this is highly likely to be a visual error. And then get rid of the Colonel Van Leer. I didn't find the other 3, including details of the photographer, Adjutant Ginter. These 3 people have never been at any time, have been interviewed to any extent, or left any documentary evidence, relatively reliable information, or an informant from Professor Hugh Wilmans, Bonnewell and Son. Therefore, despite the fact that the internet, there's a lot of analysis going on here, but it's just a guess. Black and white imaging photos makes it difficult to make out a clear enough contrast. So much so that it doesn't really matter how big this snake is. It's still an unknown. It's like so many other stories in Africa, full of mystery. Maybe one day, with the advance of science and technology, and further research into the rainforests of Congo, we can find out the truth about this serpent.